All right. Well, thank you for stopping by my channel today. My name is John Mazzara with Remax Results. And today I have Jamie Van Pelt with Citizens Bank, and she's going to tell us why they're different, programs that they can offer, and how she does business. So we're just going to have a conversation, and hopefully you learn a lot. And afterwards, you can reach out to Jamie, and she'll get you all set. So, Jamie, tell us who you are.
Yes, thanks so much for having me today, John. I appreciate
Sure.
it. As John mentioned, my name is Jamie Van Pelt. I work for Citizens State Bank. We are headquartered out of Hudson, Wisconsin. Our lending area is all of Minnesota, all of Wisconsin, and we can do other states as well, secondary market. One of the reasons why we are unique, we are a local community bank, and we can offer almost any type of financing that you or your client might be looking for. Anything as far as primary residences, second homes, investment properties. We are a preferred SBA lender, a small business administration lender as well. We have down payment assistance programs. We can do non-conforming properties. We have some very, very interesting, unique, creative financing options available. We like to pride ourselves on being common sense lenders. So, while you might want a conventional 30-year fixed, maybe the property you're looking to purchase does not qualify, does not meet the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac guidelines, or maybe there's one piece of the borrower puzzle that just doesn't meet those guidelines, but the common sense approach will still allow us to get the financing done for you. So that's in a nutshell, a little bit about me and what we can offer.
That sounds great. Now, I met Citizens Bank and your boss or a coworker at an
Yes,
investor meeting. So
yes,
I'm a member of the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association, and they had a luncheon, and your programs, as far as investor programs, were presented, and I thought it was great. And then he announced at the meeting that you, as a bank, are doing some community reinvestment in certain areas, and you have a special down payment assistance program that, because it's
yes,
yours, it's not anybody else's. And so I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. So
yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about, what you have available right at the moment? It won't be available necessarily forever, but what do you have as of this recording for first-time buyers or otherwise that's unique?
Yeah, so for borrowers that meet the income limits in the Twin Cities metro area or Western Wisconsin, we have a down payment assistance program offering up to $20,000 that can be used towards your down payment. We offer that program in conjunction with a Home Ready conventional mortgage, which Home Ready offers up to 97% financing. And then you can piggyback the 20,000 down payment assistance. The rate on that is 2.99%, which is amazing. It's a 30-year repayment schedule. So it's a really, really nice program that is available for clients. I personally have had clients use the program, and it has been an amazing help to not deplete your resources or to be able to get into a home that you otherwise maybe didn't have enough of a down payment for. So the program right now is available in Anoka, Carver, Dakota, Hennepin, Ramsey, Scott, Washington counties in Minnesota, and St. Croix, Dunn, and Pierce counties in Wisconsin.
Okay,
So it's a
very nice.
nice, yeah, nice wide range.
So let me ask you a couple questions about it. So we could get up to 20,000 and
Yes.
it's a 97% loan. So do I have to come up as a borrower with the 3%, or with that 20,000 available, could I effectively do a zero down financing if I took part of that 20 and used it for my down payment and closing costs? How does that work?
Yes. Yeah. So the first mortgage would offer up to 97% financing, and the 20,000 would stack on top of that. We usually do not see approvals without any down payment in the game. So the borrower generally needs at least a tiny bit. We've seen some approvals where the borrower would need 0.5% down. So it depends on a number of qualifying factors, credit score, and in different things. So it varies a little bit. There's not a hard cap.
Okay.
It's what is approved through the underwriting system. But I've seen borrowers come to closing with as little as 0.5%. So generally, you still need a tiny bit of skin in the game, and
Okay.
closing costs.
Okay. So on something like that, what if I had 50,000 in the bank or 100,000 in the bank? Can I, because that knocks out a lot of other people in other down payment programs. If they have too many assets, they can't utilize down payment assistance. How does that work with this program?
You can still utilize the down payment assistance even if you have reserves. I have a buyer shopping right now. She's looking on both sides of the St. Croix River, Wisconsin or Minnesota. And she does have reserves in the bank. Being a single earner household, though, she does not want to deplete all of her assets for a down payment. And so that's where this down payment program comes in and is super helpful for her. She doesn't have to deplete her savings account and is able to get a very affordable product at 2.99%.
That's really unique in the game. Now,
Mhm.
you say income, what is the income maximum? Let's say in Hennepin County, it might be different in Wisconsin, but let's say for Hennepin
Yeah.
County, what would be the most that I could make in order to still qualify?
Yeah, so it does depend on how large your family is. It varies by census tract and geocode. But for example, a family of four would be $105,900. Family of two would be about 84,000. So it just depends on exactly, what census tract you're in. There are also some interesting pieces with the Home Ready program as well, which is the conventional first mortgage program offering 97% financing, where you might not have to include all income sources. So let's say that you're on base pay, regular wages, but you collect overtime as well. We may not need to include that overtime income. Or maybe there are two members of the household, and maybe we only use base pay for both. So there are different ways that we can look at income where you would not have to necessarily include every single income source that the household is collecting.
Okay, and I assume they have to take an online readiness home buying class, either in person or as a certificate type of thing.
Yes, there is a home buying class. It is online and there is no cost for that.
Hmm.
I just had a borrower complete that class in December. It took them and only one borrower, if there's more than one borrower, only one borrower has to take the course. Not all borrowers, but it took them an hour and a half. So
Well,
their feedback, as it was their first time buying a home ever, very new, very green to the process, and they thought the course was easy to navigate and informational. So
wonderful. Well, that's much better than the 8-hour programs. A
yes,
lot of the
yes,
other ones are.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
Now, if somebody didn't qualify for that program, what else could you do? Are you eligible to offer some of the other programs that are out there today?
Yes, we are. We do have a new program available as well that would allow a borrower to receive a grant that does not have to be repaid up to $9,000. So there's that available as well. That program, maximum loan to value that we could finance would vary as well, but possibly 98% roughly. We also offer FHA. We also offer USDA, which offers 100% financing. So we have a few different options. We offer VA as well, which is 100% financing. The financing route that we end up going just depends on what's best for the borrower, what's best for the homeowner. Um, maybe they qualify for VA, but maybe a conventional program is going to offer better terms. Maybe
Hmm.
they qualify um, for VA, but USDA is going to offer better terms for them. So we'll always defer to what is going to give them the best bang for their buck. what their goals are. Is their goal the lowest rate? Is their goal the lowest down payment? We'll look at all of those factors and see what would serve them best.
Perfect. So it sounds like you do a good job of counseling. So you sit down,
Yes.
or not sit down necessarily, because it might be done just like this via Zoom or
Yep.
online, but or over the
Yep.
phone. But
Yep.
you have a discussion, and then you have a plan, then you have a pre-approval, I assume. Uh,
Yes.
and then they get to go shopping, and then before they make the offer, they would maybe consult with you again and figure,
Yes.
are we still going to be on this plan, or is there a better plan for that home? How would that, is that kind of how it would work with you?
Yes, yes, correct. So we work through the pre-approval process based on, we review income documents, we pull credit. We try to make sure to review everything fully that we can prior to issuing a pre-approval letter so that there are no surprises. No one likes surprises to come up.
Right.
Once we have that pre-approval letter, the borrower is free to shop. It's preferable to, as you said, John, share the property with me so that I can ensure that the program that we're looking at would be a good fit for that property and that property would meet financing requirements. There are some programs that have stricter appraisal guidelines, such as FHA. And so we just want to make sure that the property you're considering making an offer on would be a good fit for the program you're looking at. And if not, and we need to pivot, then what that would look like so that they're fully prepared before they would make an offer on a property.
Perfect. And just as a rule of thumb, I know it's going to change because it's going to depend on every situation, but what is the kind of credit score minimum that somebody should kind of prepare for? And if they're not quite at that number that you're going to tell me, is there a process that you do to work with somebody to get them ready? Maybe secured credit cards, secured loans, those types of things. So can you share
Yeah.
that, how that would work?
Yeah, certainly, John. So, I think if you can have a credit score of 680 or better, that's going to help you get the most reasonable rate. However, if we were to go with an FHA program, which is 3.5% down, you can have credit scores, into the 500s. You're going to be hard pressed to find good financing with credit less than 600. So if we go through the pre-approval process and we find that maybe you're not eligible yet, or maybe you're not where you want to be, that's okay. We can look at it as here's where you're at right now, and here's where you want to get. What do we need to do to get there? So, as you mentioned, it might be getting a secured credit card so that you can start building that repayment history. Maybe there's an outstanding collection that needs to be resolved, things like that. Maybe there's some consolidation we can work on doing um, to maybe get some other consumer debts in line. So it's always good to know, I've met with borrowers who, they're not quite sure where their credit stands or if they're ready. But going through the process is a great first step of starting the process to learn where are you, what's your goal, what are the steps that we need to take to get there.
Okay, and your bank can offer the secured credit card or direct them, and same
Yes,
with the secured. Do you have secured loans over there too?
we do. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we do CD secured loans, we do secured credit cards. We can do auto loans. We do quite a bit of consumer lending. Even an overdraft protection line linked to your checking account can help your credit. So
Okay. Well, very good. Well, that's very important because a lot of other, let's just say brokers and things are can tell you, I think you need to get a secured credit card or a secured loan, and then you're like, okay, but where do I do that? So you could Google it and things like that. But if somebody was to work with you, you could actually help them through that next step
yeah,
and make
yeah,
sure they got the secured. Now, everybody's going to get it secured because it's your own money essentially, or if they're borrowing on the
yes,
CD, the loan's secured by that CD, and if you default, then they don't get the CD. So,
yeah,
um, so that's something that you can absolutely do for people, and that would be at least one or two trade lines, like you said, the auto, maybe three, that are going to now start reporting. And what I see a lot is people, after they've had a bump in the road, they don't. want to enter back into the market to get credit because they don't want to have another bump in the road. But I always tell people you're as good as your last bump until you move beyond it. And whether it's 20
Yeah.
bucks on a card or 200 bucks on a CD or whatever, you just get something so that you can get some
Yeah.
reporting history.
Yes.
But I think
Correct.
that gap is missed where people are told what to do, then they don't know exactly how to do it, so they freeze again. So that's great
Yes.
that you can take them through. And I've got people in my pipeline, that are getting ready to get ready, meaning they're not there yet because of credit scores or leases. And what I always do is say, well, why don't we set up a drip? So I know you're not ready yet, but let's get you familiar with valuations and areas so that whether it be 6 months or 2 years from now, you at least have been actively viewing properties so that you're familiar with value. And during that period of time, we may end up shifting areas or property types. So no
Yeah.
harm in looking. It's free to set up a search. You charge $1 million for somebody to come talk to you, or what's your fee to have somebody come talk to you?
No, there's no fee. There's no application fee.
Okay.
So you're not paying anything and unless your loan closes. So
Okay. So true
um
free lunch, at least
yes,
initially.
yes. Yeah. If you have an appraisal completed on a property and you decide not to move forward, you would be responsible for that third party appraisal fee. But there's no application fee. So you're always free to, it's being a smart consumer to get a loan estimate, to get a pre-approval, see, what's available out there.
Wonderful. Well, that sounds great. Well, Jamie, it sounds like you obviously know what you're doing. You have some special products that nobody else has. You're able to take somebody if they're in a credit situation and help them improve for the future. And your bank is a make sense bank. And because they're a locally owned, or Wisconsin, Minnesota, right on the border owned
Mhm.
bank, you
Yeah.
lend in both states. I'm licensed in both states. I do Minnesota and Wisconsin. Um, so we could work together with somebody that's watching this video. If you wanted to work with me to help you find a home, I'd love to. If you want to work with Jamie to help finance the home, that would be fabulous. However, we are a la carte. So if you have another agent that you're already in a buyer contract with, and you're watching this video and you say, Jamie, I want to really work with you, that is fantastic. I want you to give her a call. If you have another loan that you're planning on using and you would like me to help you, I've been doing this for almost 40 years. It'll be 40 years in June, sold over 1,200 homes. I'd love to help you. So together we work best, but we can work apart as well. So Jamie, how does somebody reach you if they're watching this video? Now I'll put some of that information in the body of the video, but tell us how they could reach out to you right now by phone,
Yes.
email, and those types of things.
Yes, my direct line is 715-377-7016. My email address is jvanpelt, which is JVANPELT at csbnet.net.
Wonderful. All right. Well, that's wonderful. Jamie, is there anything you'd like to share with the audience before we wrap up for today?
Yeah, just keep me in mind. I would love the opportunity to help you. It is very exciting to help first-time home buyers or second-time home buyers, second homes, land, lots. I do a lot of construction and renovation loans as well,
Hmm,
and home equities. So keep me in mind. You might think you need a land loan, and really you just need a home equity loan. So I will definitely look at the full picture, your full financial picture to see what is going to give you the best bang for your buck, what is going to serve you best. So thank you
that's
so
wonderful.
much.
You betcha. And I want to just pick up one last time on what you just said. So, because they're a bank, because they go to committee, uh, they're not they're not subject to just Fannie, Freddie, FHA, or VA guidelines. They're a portfolio
Correct.
lender as well. So they do sell to the
Correct.
private market, but they hold and they make sense. So they want to do a deal if it makes sense. And that's what I really liked when I went to the investor meeting is that they were describing some of the things they could do to the investors that were there, the developers and things. And that's different than you're going to find at other places that don't do that, like the larger banks. So they're a community bank, a big bank, and they got special stuff. give them a call. I think you'll be happy, pleasantly surprised, and they offer really good rates on their checking accounts. I don't know if you want to tell us what you're offering these days, but I know it's a wonderful number in comparison. You want to share that number, right? What it is at the
Ye-
moment?
Yeah, so it can change anytime. We offer some great money market accounts, some great certificates of deposit accounts. It is tiered by balance. I can't quote the exact APR right now on any specific product, but we are highly, highly competitive. We feature certificate of deposit specials throughout the year. And shout out to one of our very unique deposit products. It's called a Rule Breaker CD. A Rule Breaker CD has some special features where it allows you to pull some of your funds during the term of your certificate of deposit without a penalty,
Hmm,
or you can add funds. So it is an amazing, amazing product. It's a very unique certificate of deposit that you're not going to find elsewhere. So,
fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. And I won't say the
yes.
rate either because I don't know what it is currently on the checking account, but I can tell you from a previous meeting that it's going to be at least 3 to 4 times what you're going to find at other checking accounts at other
Yes.
local institutions. So call and
Yes.
find out, what they're offering.
We also have totally free checking if you're looking for all the bells and whistles and you don't want to keep a minimum balance, that's available. We have amazing accounts with benefits as well that will monitor your credit and help you track your budget, all of those things. We have a fantastic suite of business banking products as well. So we can help everyone from your big business just to, individual solo personal checking account. We're kind of a one-stop shop. We've got the mobile banking and the tap to pay and all of those things. So we've got great things available.
Fantastic. So it's not just a loan, it's your whole life if you want it to be. And
Yep.
would
Yep.
you be the quarterback? They can reach out to you and then you can say, well, Bob or Mary or Sue handles
Yes.
these other things, but reach out to you first, correct?
Yeah, you can certainly reach out to me and I will direct you to the best person if whether it's, working with a business banker directly or if it's working with a personal banker, relationship banker, I will be happy to direct you to the right fit.
Beautiful. All right. Well, Jamie, thank you for coming on today, everybody. I hope you
Yes.
got some good nuggets and you can tell she's wonderful and would love to help you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it.
You betcha.